Success is the best revenge, they say, but I'll take it one step further. Success isn't just revenge. It's your statement. It's the message you send to the world without saying a word. You see, doubt is loud. It comes from all directions. Friends, family, co-workers, even from within ourselves. It can get overwhelming. But here's the truth. The louder the doubt, the greater the opportunity to prove them wrong. What if I told you that instead of wasting energy fighting every voice of doubt, you could simply let your results do all the talking? Imagine standing at the top of your game, knowing that every step you took, every challenge you faced, was part of the reason your success is now undeniable. That's what we're going to explore today. We're going to talk about how to take the energy from the people who doubt you and use it to fuel your success. We're going to discuss how you can focus on the path ahead and let your achievements silence every single critic along the way. By the end of this video, you'll be thinking differently. You'll be ready to channel that doubt, transform it, and turn it into something that leaves no room for any more negative words. Are you ready to shift gears and let your success speak for you? Stick with me, because when you do this right, nothing, absolutely nothing, will be able to stand in your way. Number 1, be so focused that you don't even hear the doubters. Success has a strange way of making people uncomfortable. The moment you decide to rise above the average, to step outside the norm, to chase something bigger than the life they settled for, you'll start to notice the noise, the comments, the whispers, the doubt. And sometimes it won't even be whispers. It'll be loud, clear voices telling you why you can't do it, why you're wasting your time, why you should just stop now before you embarrass yourself. But here's the truth. Those voices only have power if you listen to them. If you stop and entertain their doubt, even for a moment, you let them inside your mind, and once they're in, they start taking control. You start questioning yourself. You start hesitating. You start wondering if maybe, just maybe, they're right. That's how most people get stuck. It's not because they don't have potential. It's not because they don't have the ability. It's because they let the voices of others drown out their own. They let outside noise break their focus, and before they know it, they've slowed down, they've lost momentum, and eventually they stop completely. And that's exactly what the doubters want. They want you to hear them, they want you to react, they want to get inside your head and make you believe that you're not capable of doing something extraordinary. Why? Because if you prove them wrong, it forces them to face their own failures. It forces them to realize that they could have done more, but they didn't. And that's uncomfortable. It's easier for them if you fail, because then they never have to confront the fact that they gave up on their own dreams. You have to understand this. When you are focused, truly locked in on your goals, there is no space left in your mind for doubt. There is no time for debate. You don't stop to explain yourself. You don't pause to defend your choices. You are too busy building, too busy growing, too busy becoming the person they said you could never be. That's how you win. Not by talking, not by arguing, not by wasting your breath, trying to convince people who have already made up their minds about you. You win by putting your head down and doing the work. You win by showing up every single day and making progress, even if no one else sees it yet. Picture this. You wake up before the world starts moving. While they are still sleeping, still scrolling, still talking, you are working. While they are busy discussing why you won't make it, you are making it happen. You are taking steps forward, even if they are small, even if no one else notices, because you understand that success isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. You don't have to announce what you're doing. You don't have to post every move you make. You don't have to get approval from anyone. Just work. Just build, just improve. Let them talk while you move in silence. Because one day the results will speak for themselves, and when they do, the same people who doubted you will have no choice but to respect what you've built. There's something powerful about being so focused that the noise fades away. Imagine that for a second. Imagine a world where the opinions of others don't affect you. Imagine a life where you are so deeply committed to your own growth that nothing distracts you. Imagine reaching a point where you are moving forward with such unstoppable momentum that doubt doesn't even reach your ears. That's the goal. That's the mindset. Because the truth is, doubters don't stop talking just because you succeed. They'll always find something to say. If you fail, they'll say, "I told you so." If you win, they'll say you got lucky. Either way, they'll keep talking. But the difference is, by then, you won't care. By then, their words will mean nothing because you will have built a life so strong, so undeniable, that their opinions are just background noise. So don't stop to argue. Don't pause to explain. Don't waste time proving yourself to people who have already decided not to believe in you. Stay focused, stay locked in, get so busy improving yourself that you don't even hear the doubt anymore. And when the results come, and they will, let your success be the only response you need. Number 2, let success be your final answer. People will always have something to say about you. They will doubt you, question your choices, and sometimes even laugh at your dreams. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're trying to achieve. There will always be voices telling you why you won't make it, why you're wasting your time, why you should just quit now and accept an ordinary life. But here's what you need to understand. You don't need to answer them. You don't need to debate, argue, or try to prove them wrong with words. Because at the end of the day, success is the only answer that matters. When you succeed, everything changes. The people who doubted you go silent. The ones who didn't believe in you suddenly start acting like they always supported you. And those who tried to tear you down, they're left with nothing to say because success is undeniable. It doesn't need an explanation. It doesn't need approval. It stands on its own, and when it speaks, it shuts down every excuse, every doubt, every negative word ever spoken against you. Think about this for a second. How many times have you seen someone accomplish something great, and suddenly, the people who once ignored them now want to be associated with them? How many times have you seen someone go from being laughed at to being admired? It happens all the time. Because success erases doubt. It rewrites the story. It turns every criticism into motivation and every failure into a stepping stone. But here's where most people go wrong. They waste too much time trying to explain themselves. They try to convince others that they're capable, that they're serious, that they're going to make it. They respond to every negative comment, every doubt, every piece of unsolicited advice from people who haven't accomplished anything themselves. And in doing so, they get distracted. They lose focus. They spend their energy on people who will never support them instead of putting that energy into building their future. You don't need to do that. You don't need to explain yourself to people who have already decided not to believe in you. You don't need to justify your goals to those who don't have any of their own. The only thing you need to do is work. Every single day, without excuses, without distractions, because when you do that, when you put in the effort and stay committed, success becomes inevitable. And once it happens, all the talking stops. Imagine this. Imagine walking into a room full of people who once doubted you. But this time, you don't have to say a word. They see it. They see the success, the results, the transformation. They see that you didn't just talk about it, you lived it. And at that moment, there's nothing they can do, no excuse they can make, no argument they can win, because success is standing in front of them and it is louder than anything they ever said about you. That's how you silence the doubters. Not with words, not with arguments, but with undeniable results, with proof, with the kind of success that makes people rethink everything they once believed about you. But here's the thing. Success doesn't come easy. It doesn't come to those who wait for approval. It doesn't come to those who hesitate every time someone doubts them. It comes to those who stay focused, who show up every single day and put in the work, no matter what anyone else is saying. It comes to those who understand that their future is their responsibility and no one else's opinion matters. You have to be strong enough to let people doubt you without feeling the need to respond. You have to be disciplined enough to stay on your path even when no one else believes in you. You have to trust that in the end, success will be your final answer. And when that moment comes, it will be worth everything you went through. Every late night, every early morning, every sacrifice, every time you wanted to give up but didn't. Because when you finally reach that point, the world won't be able to ignore you anymore. So stop explaining. Stop trying to prove yourself with words. Let your success do it for you. Because once you make it, all the doubts, all the negativity, all the people who said you couldn't, none of it will matter anymore. The only thing that will matter is that you did it. And that is the only answer you will ever need. Number 3, they'll laugh at you first. Then they'll imitate you. People will laugh at you when you start. They will question you, mock you, and act like your dreams are nothing more than a joke. That's just how the world works. The moment you try to do something different, the moment you step outside the box, people will notice, and not in the way you'd hope. They'll roll their eyes, they'll whisper behind your back, some will even say it right to your face. You're wasting your time. You really think you can do this? Come on, be realistic. It happens to everyone who tries to rise above the average. Because the truth is, most people are afraid of change. They're afraid to see someone break free from the ordinary because it forces them to face their own limitations. When they see you chasing something bigger, it reminds them that they settled. It reminds them that they could have done more, but they didn't. And instead of dealing with that, instead of looking in the mirror and asking themselves why they gave up, they choose the easy route. They laugh. But here's where it gets interesting. If you keep going, if you stay consistent, if you refuse to let their words shake you, something incredible starts to happen. The same people who laughed at you will start paying attention. First, they'll act like they don't see it. They'll avoid talking about your progress, pretend it's just luck, or make excuses for why you're getting ahead. But deep down, they'll start to wonder. They'll start to question if maybe, just maybe, you were onto something all along. Then comes the next stage, imitation. The ones who once mocked you will start copying you. They'll watch how you did it. They'll study your moves, and slowly, they'll try to do the same. The same people who laughed when you started your business will be asking you for advice. The same friends who told you that your goals were ridiculous will be trying to follow your path. They'll suddenly want to know your routine, your mindset, your habits, and you'll notice something funny. Now they respect you. Now they want to be like you, because success changes everything. It flips the script. People can doubt you, they can ignore you, but they cannot argue with results. When you prove that something is possible, it forces them to reconsider everything they believed. And the easiest way for them to deal with that imitation, they'll start dressing like you, talking like you, trying to work like you. They'll act as if they supported you all along. But here's the best part. You don't need to call them out. You don't need to remind them of how they treated you in the beginning. You don't need to hold on to that bitterness. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you made it. You took the risk. You put in the work. You endured the laughter, the doubts, the criticism, and you won. That's what counts. Most people never reach this point because they give up too soon. The laughter gets to them. The criticism makes them doubt themselves. They let the opinions of others hold them back. And before they even have a chance to prove themselves, they quit. That's what the doubters want. They want you to give up because it makes them feel better about staying the same. They want you to believe their words so they never have to face the possibility that you might actually succeed. So don't give them that satisfaction. Keep going, keep working, let them laugh now, because one day they won't have anything to say. One day the same people who doubted you will be the ones trying to figure out how you did it. And when that day comes, you won't need to say a word, because your success will speak for itself. You see, in life, people tend to attack what they don't understand. They judge what they can't see for themselves. If they've never taken a risk, they won't understand why you are. If they've never chased a dream, they won't understand why you refuse to settle. And if they've never seen someone rise from nothing to something, they won't believe it's possible until you show them. That's why you have to develop a strong mind. You have to become the kind of person who can handle criticism, rejection, and doubt without losing focus. You can't afford to let their laughter distract you, because the moment you start caring about their opinions, you stop caring about your goals. The moment you try to prove yourself to them, you lose sight of why you started. And that's a dangerous place to be, because if you're not careful, you'll end up living a life designed by their expectations instead of your own dreams. So what do? You put your head down and work. You become so obsessed with improving yourself with building something great that you don't even hear the laughter anymore. It becomes background noise. You get to a point where their opinions hold no weight because you're too focused on becoming the best version of yourself. And here's the truth. Most people will never understand your journey until it's over. They won't see the long nights, the sacrifices, the moments of self-doubt you had to push through. They won't understand the pain of rejection, the struggles behind the scenes, the failures that almost broke you. They will only see the end result. They will see the success, the achievements, the rewards, and then they'll act like they knew it all along. But you'll know the truth. You'll know that there was a time when nobody believed in you, when you had to keep pushing forward even when no one was clapping for you, when you had to believe in yourself because nobody else did. And that moment, when you finally make it, when you finally prove to yourself that you were right to keep going, that's worth every laugh, every doubt, every criticism you ever faced. So the next time someone laughs at your dreams, let them. Let them have their moment, because in time the roles will reverse. They'll go from laughing to watching, from watching to wondering, from wondering to imitating, and by then you'll be too far ahead to even notice, because while they were busy doubting you, you were busy building something they couldn't ignore. And that, my friend, is the sweetest victory of all. Number 4, your future will make their words useless. There are always people who will tell you what you can't do, what you're not capable of, or how impossible your dreams are. They love to tell you about the roadblocks, the struggles, and how in their eyes, your goals are just too far out of reach. It's easy for them to do this because they haven't been where you've been. They haven't walked the path you're walking, and they haven't put in the work that you're about to put in. But here's the thing. They don't matter. Those words, their opinion, their doubts, they're all temporary. Your future, the success that's waiting for you, is going to make every single one of those words utterly useless. When people tell you that it can't be done, that you'll never make it, or that your dreams are too big, don't take it personally. They're speaking from their own limitations, from their own fears. It's important to remember that most people are afraid of what they don't understand. And when they see someone like you, someone with the courage to chase something big, something they can't fathom, it makes them uncomfortable. They feel threatened by the idea that you might actually achieve what they thought was impossible. So they try to pull you back, to remind you of all the reasons why it won't work. They want to make you doubt yourself, because if you start believing that you can't do it, then they don't have to face the uncomfortable reality of their own lack of action. But don't get caught up in their words. Don't let their doubts infiltrate your mind and start dictating what you believe is possible for yourself. Their opinions are not facts. They are just reflections of their own fears and failures. They'll say you're too young, too inexperienced, too much of a risk taker, but none of that matters. What matters is that you stay focused on your future. What matters is that you focus on what you know you can achieve, the life you're working toward, and the success you're building brick by brick. If you truly want to rise above the doubters, if you want to make their words meaningless, then you have to build something so strong, so undeniable that when you look back on their doubts, they're nothing more than noise. Every time someone tells you it's impossible, let that be fuel for your fire. Every time someone says you're wasting your time, take it as proof that you're on the right track. They're just showing you that they can't see your vision, and that's fine. You don't need their approval. You need to stay true to yourself and keep moving forward no matter what. It's easy to get distracted by the people who want to hold you back. They'll tell you it's too hard, too risky, or that you're not cut out for it. But if you keep your eyes on the prize, if you keep your focus on the future you want, eventually their words will fade away. The very people who told you it couldn't be done will start to see that you were right all along. Your success will speak for itself. And when that day comes, when you've achieved everything you set out to do, their doubts will have no power. They will be nothing more than a distant memory, a reminder of what they once said about you. Your future is bigger than their words. It's more important than their opinions. It's more valuable than any criticism they throw your way. The truth is, the only thing that will make their words useless is the fact that you refuse to let them define you. You have the power to create a future that proves them wrong. And when you do, it's not about rubbing it in their faces, It's about living your truth. When you reach that point in your life, when you've achieved what they said you couldn't, you won't have to say a word. You won't need to remind anyone of how they doubted you. Your success will do all the talking. It'll be so loud, so undeniable, that their opinions won't matter anymore. They'll realize that their words were empty and that your actions spoke volumes. The people who once doubted you will have no choice but to look at you with a new sense of respect. They'll see that you didn't let their negativity stop you. You didn't let their fears become your own. Instead, you stayed focused, stayed driven, and worked tirelessly to create the future that you knew you deserved. And here's something that's key. The moment you start focusing on your future and letting that be your driving force, the less power their words have over you. Because when you're so committed to your vision, to your goals, there's no room for their doubts to take root. You become immune to their negativity. You stop caring about what they think, and you start caring about what you know is possible. Imagine the day when you look back at the people who told you it couldn't be done. When you've reached your goals, when you're living the life you've worked for, and you see those same people standing there, amazed at what you've accomplished. They won't be able to deny your success. It'll be right there in front of them. And you won't have to say anything. You won't need to point out how they doubted you, how they tried to hold you back. Your success will be the proof. It will speak louder than anything they could have said. And that's the moment you realize that their words never mattered in the first place. So, keep moving forward, keep building your future. The more you focus on what's ahead, the less you'll be distracted by the negativity and doubt of others. Your future will make their words obsolete, and one day you'll look back and realize that the very people who doubted you were the ones who gave you the strength to keep going. You'll see that their doubt was just the spark you needed to prove them wrong. And when that happens, you'll understand that the best revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's living the life you always dreamed of. Number 5, the best comeback is success they can't ignore. When people doubt you, question your abilities, or even flat out laugh at your dreams, the instinct is to want to fight back. We all feel that urge to defend ourselves, to show the world that we're not the joke they think we are. But what if I told you that the best way to respond to the doubters is not with words, not with arguments, but with success? The kind of success that is so undeniable, so powerful, that it leaves them with nothing to say. The kind of success that makes their opinions irrelevant. This is the best comeback you can make. When you stop worrying about what they think and start building something that can't be ignored, there's something truly satisfying about living in a way that shows your doubters you didn't just prove them wrong, you showed them that their doubts weren't even worth your time. The most impactful response you can have is not to waste energy defending yourself against the critics, but to channel that energy into creating the life you want. Your success, the real, undeniable kind, will be the proof that you never needed to argue in the first place. There's something incredibly powerful in silence. When people question your dreams, when they tell you what you can't do, the easiest thing in the world is to get caught up in their negativity. It's easy to argue with people who don't believe in you, to try to convince them that you are worthy of success. But that's exactly what they want. They want to see you fall into their trap, to get tangled in their doubts and their fears. But there's a different way to approach it. You don't have to argue, you don't have to prove anything with words. Instead, let your actions do the talking. The most powerful comeback you can make to a doubter is to show them that you're too busy creating your success to even listen to their criticisms. It's about putting in the work, staying focused, and building a life that no one can dismiss. When you're in the midst of that success, when you've put in the hard work, when you're living the results, those doubters will have no choice but to acknowledge it. Not because you asked them to, not because you told them to, but because the success you've built is undeniable. It speaks for itself. Don't get caught up in arguing with the world. It's tempting to want to tell everyone why you're capable, why your dreams are worth pursuing, and why they should believe in you. But the truth is, your success will do all the talking for you. When they see that you've built something incredible, when they see you living the life they once said you couldn't have, that will shut down any doubts they ever had. You won't need to say a word. Your actions will be louder than any words you could ever say. People love to talk. They love to speculate about your life, your future, and whether or not you'll succeed. But the funny thing about people's opinions is that they're just that. opinions. They don't have the power to shape your reality unless you let them. And the key to taking back control is to focus on your own actions. Stop worrying about convincing others and start focusing on proving yourself right. There's no greater satisfaction than seeing the people who doubted you have to look at your success and realize they were wrong. What you need to realize is that the real power comes not from the words you speak, but from the actions you take. Doubters will come and go, and their opinions will shift, but success, real success, doesn't change. It's consistent, it's steady, it's loud, and it's something they can't ignore. That's what will make them stop in their tracks and realize that everything they thought they knew about you was wrong. Success is a force of nature. It doesn't need to explain itself. It doesn't need to defend itself. It simply exists. And when it does, it forces people to take notice. They'll either admit they were wrong or they'll quietly fade away, but in either case, they'll no longer have any power over you. That's what success does. It makes all the noise from the critics fade into the background. When your results speak for themselves, nothing else matters. This is the beauty of letting your actions do the talking. There's no need to waste time explaining yourself. When you've built something remarkable, when you've reached a level of success that you've worked tirelessly for, that's all the proof you need. The beauty of success is that it doesn't need anyone else's approval. It's not dependent on their opinion. It's only dependent on your effort, your determination, and your belief in yourself. And here's the best part. When you reach that point, when your success is so big that it can't be ignored, you won't have to rub it in anyone's face. You won't have to gloat or prove a point. It will speak for itself. The doubters will either respect you or they'll learn from you. They'll realize that your ability to shut out the noise and focus on what matters most is what made all the difference. The key to dealing with doubters is simple. Stop focusing on them and start focusing on your own path. Stop letting their words hold any weight. The only thing that matters is what you're doing, where you're going, and the future you're creating. Don't waste energy on those who won't believe in you. Use that energy to fuel your dreams, to create a life that leaves no room for doubt. The best comeback isn't always about confrontation. It's about walking away from the noise, from the negativity, and showing up every single day with the intention to succeed. The best comeback is your success. Success they can't ignore. When you've reached that level of success, when you've created the life you dreamed of, that's when you'll know you've won. And when that happens, you won't need to say a word. Your success will do all the talking, and it will say everything that needs to be said. Number 6, every great success story started with doubters. Every great success story begins with someone, somewhere, doubting it. That's just the reality of how this world works. There's always going to be someone who tells you that you can't do it. There's always going to be someone who looks at your dreams, your goals, and says, "That's impossible. You'll never make it." It doesn't matter who you are or what you're trying to achieve. At the beginning, no one is going to believe in you. And you know what? That's actually a good thing. Because every great success story started with someone who believed that the doubters were wrong, and they proved it with action. Think about all the people who changed the world. People like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, and countless others who have built something incredible from nothing. Do you think they had people who doubted them? Absolutely. Everyone does. When you're trying to do something big, something that nobody else has done, you can expect pushback. You can expect people to question whether you have what it takes. They'll ask if you really think you can make it. And it's not just strangers sometimes. It's the people closest to you, the ones who should be supporting you the most. But here's the thing. Every single one of those people had to face the doubters. They had to go through the ridicule, the criticism, the skepticism. But do you know what they did? They didn't quit. They didn't listen to the noise. They didn't let the doubters shape their reality. Instead, they used that doubt as fuel. They turned those negative voices into motivation, proving everyone wrong by doing the impossible. They took that criticism, turned it into determination, and focused on the end goal. And that's what you need to do too. It's easy to get discouraged when someone tells you that your dreams are too big, too unrealistic, or too impossible. But it's those very dreams that can change your life. The people who doubt you are often the ones who haven't dared to dream big themselves. They don't understand the fire inside you because they've never had that fire burning inside them. So when they see you chasing after something that seems out of reach, they're going to try to pull you down to their level. But that's not your reality. Your reality is different. Your reality is shaped by your actions, not their doubts. And if you keep going, you'll prove them all wrong. Every great success story has faced setbacks, rejection, and failure along the way. Nobody has ever reached the top without encountering obstacles. But it's how you handle those obstacles that matters. Do you let the doubters win? Do you listen to the people who say you can't do it and let their words dictate your path? Or do you get up every time you fall, even when it feels like the world is against you? Do you push through the doubt and keep moving forward one step at a time? The truth is, those who doubt you are often afraid of their own potential. They can't imagine someone like you breaking through to the other side because they've never had the courage to try. They see the obstacles, the challenges, and the risks, and they let those fears control them. But you have something they don't have. The willingness to take that risk. The willingness to fail, get back up and keep going. And that's the difference between someone who succeeds and someone who never even tries. The biggest mistake you can make is to let the doubt of others define your future. Don't let their negativity stop you from going after your dreams. The doubt you face is not a reflection of your ability. It's a reflection of their limited vision. And you don't need to let their vision dictate your path. Your dreams are yours, and you're the one who has the power to make them come true. Think about it. If everyone in the world only listened to the doubters, then no one would ever do anything great. Nobody would take a chance. Nobody would reach for the stars. Nobody would change the world. And that's exactly what happens when you let doubt control you. You stop taking risks. You stop dreaming big. And you settle for a life that's smaller than the one you're capable of. But when you choose to push through the doubt, when you choose to keep moving forward no matter what, you start to change the game. You start to create a life that others can't ignore. The road to success is never easy. It's filled with obstacles, challenges, and plenty of people telling you it can't be done. But every single time you push past those doubts, every single time you keep going when everyone else says you should quit, you get closer to proving them wrong, and eventually when you've reached the level of success you've been working for, they won't be laughing at you anymore. They won't be doubting you. They'll be watching in awe, and they'll be asking themselves, how did they do it? You'll become living proof that success doesn't come from listening to the doubters. It comes from believing in yourself when nobody else does. It comes from showing up every single day, putting in the work, and trusting the process even when the road ahead seems impossible. It comes from never giving up no matter how hard it gets. Because success isn't about avoiding failure or not having doubts. It's about persevering through them and coming out stronger on the other side. So the next time someone doubts you, remember that they're not stopping you from reaching your dreams. They're just reminding you of how far you've come. Use their doubt as motivation to keep going. Use it as fuel to push yourself harder. And remember, every great success story started with doubters. And you're writing your own success story. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Keep moving forward and prove them all wrong. Number 7, doubters. Look for weakness. Give them strength instead. There's always someone out there looking for a weakness. They don't want you to succeed because success challenges their own beliefs, their own comfort. They'll scrutinize every move, every decision, looking for any crack in your armor. And what do when they find it? They point it out. They take that tiny glimpse of vulnerability and magnify it, making it feel like your weakness is the biggest problem in the world. But here's the thing. They don't define you. They don't have the power to control your story. Only you do. When you let doubt, negativity, or fear creep into your mind, that's when the weakness becomes real. When you listen to the critics and give in to their doubts, you start to believe that their opinion matters more than your own. But you've got to understand something. Doubters are looking for weakness because they're too afraid to look for strength. They don't understand that real strength doesn't come from having everything perfect. It comes from showing up every single day, even when things aren't going the way you want. It comes from facing those challenges head on, knowing that every setback is just another step closer to victory. The doubters, the naysayers, they want to see you fall. It's not because they're evil. It's because they're scared. Scared that if you succeed, it means they can't use their excuses anymore. Scared that if you break through, it's a reminder that they've been holding themselves back. So they'll look for any weakness to latch onto, and when you give them that weakness, they'll pounce. They'll use your doubts against you, making you question your abilities. But what if you didn't give them that? What if, instead of showing weakness, you showed them strength? Every time they look for a crack in your armor, you need to close it. Every time they try to make you feel small, you need to stand taller. The way to defeat their doubts is not by defending yourself, but by showing up with more determination than ever. The best comeback you can give is success, the kind of success that they can't ignore, the kind of success that they have to respect. They may not understand it at first, and they may try to tear you down, but when you're consistently showing up and doing the work, it becomes impossible for them to keep doubting. Your success speaks louder than any words they can throw at you. Doubters are like wolves circling a vulnerable animal. They look for weakness, and when they see it, they strike. But what happens when they see strength instead? What happens when they see someone who's unshaken by their words? What happens when they see someone who keeps going, no matter what they say? The wolves back off. They may keep circling, but they can't get close. They can't touch what they can't break. And that's what you need to be. You need to be that person who gives them nothing to grab onto. Don't give them a reason to make you doubt yourself. Show them that you're unwavering and that you're determined to succeed no matter how hard they try to knock you down. When you stop showing weakness and start showing strength, you become a force that no one can stop. It's not about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about being relentless. It's about doing the work even when you feel like giving up. It's about getting back up after every failure, dusting yourself off and moving forward. That's where your strength lies. And when you do that consistently, the doubters will have nothing to say. Here's the thing. Doubters look for weakness because it makes them feel better. They need to see you fail because it makes them feel like they're justified in their own fears. But when you show them strength, when you keep moving forward regardless of their negativity, you start to change the game. You're no longer playing by their rules, you're playing by your own. And that's the game changer. It's easy to get caught up in their opinions. We all want validation. We all want people to believe in us. But you have to realize that their doubts are not a reflection of your potential. They're a reflection of their own limitations. They're projecting their fears onto you because they don't have the courage to face their own doubts. So why should you let them define your worth? Why should you let them decide how far you can go? You've got to stand up and say, I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm here to prove to myself that I can do this. When you do that, you don't just shut down the doubters. You shut down the fear that holds you back. The best way to silence the doubters is to keep going. Keep doing the work. Keep improving, no matter how small the steps might feel. When you show up day after day and your results start to speak for themselves, the doubters will eventually run out of things to say. They may never fully admit they were wrong, but they won't have any choice but to acknowledge your success. That's the beauty of persistence. It doesn't need validation from anyone else. It doesn't need approval. It just needs you to keep moving forward. So the next time someone doubts you, don't shrink away. Don't second guess yourself. Don't let their words hold power over you. Instead, turn that doubt into fuel. Let it push you harder. Let it drive you to become better than you ever thought possible. And when you reach that success, when you prove them wrong, you'll look back and realize that all those doubts, all those negative voices only made you stronger. They couldn't break you. They couldn't stop you. And now they have no choice but to watch as you rise. You have everything inside you to succeed. Don't let anyone, especially the doubters, make you believe otherwise. Let them look for your weakness. You give them nothing but strength. Because the strength you show today will be the success they'll have to recognize tomorrow. Keep moving forward and let your actions speak louder than their doubt. Number 8, learn to enjoy the silence of victory. There's something powerful about the silence that follows a hard-earned victory. It's the kind of silence that says everything without uttering a word. It's not the silence of defeat, where you feel defeated, drained, and overwhelmed by the world. No, this is the kind of silence that comes when you've put in the work, when you've faced the challenges head on, And when you've come out the other side, stronger and more determined than ever before. It's the silence of knowing that you've done what others thought was impossible. You didn't need applause. You didn't need validation. You didn't need anyone's approval. You just needed your own strength. And now, that victory speaks for itself. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of the world, the constant chatter, the opinions, the distractions. Every day you hear what people think you can or can't do. Everyone has something to say, and the louder they talk, the harder it becomes to hear your own thoughts. But in that silence, after all the work has been put in, when the dust settles and the results are clear, you realize that nothing else matters. That silence isn't empty, it's full of meaning. It's a reminder that you did it. You didn't need to explain yourself. You didn't need to justify your every move. All you needed was the determination to keep pushing, and that's exactly what you did. And when the silence finally settles in, it feels peaceful. It feels earned. The world loves to make noise. People are quick to judge, to criticize, and to question your every move. But when you learn to embrace the silence of victory, you start to see things differently. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You've already proven it to yourself. And that's what truly matters. The silence of victory isn't about being quiet out of fear or insecurity. It's about the calm that comes from knowing you've given everything, and it was enough. You've crossed that finish line, not because of the applause, but because you were determined to reach it, no matter how tough it got. Imagine the kind of peace that comes from knowing that your actions, your decisions, your persistence have led you to where you are. You don't need to explain how hard it was or justify your sacrifices. When you've truly won, the victory speaks for itself. It's the silence of confidence, the kind of confidence that doesn't need to boast. It's knowing that you've reached your goal, and you didn't need anyone else to believe in you to get there. You did it on your own, for yourself, and in that silence, you find a sense of fulfillment that no amount of noise can match. In a world that's constantly telling you to do more, to achieve more, and to compete more, it can be easy to get lost in the chaos. Everyone is shouting for attention, trying to outdo one another, trying to prove that their success is the greatest. But the real victory doesn't come from being the loudest. It comes from the quiet moments, when you know deep down that you've succeeded because of your own efforts, when you've put in the work, when you've made the sacrifices, when you've faced the setbacks and kept moving forward. The victory you achieve becomes so much sweeter. You don't need anyone's approval, because you know that you've earned it. That silence of victory is all the recognition you need. This is the kind of success that only you can appreciate. It's the kind of success that doesn't need to be broadcasted to the world. It doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops or flaunted on social media. You don't need anyone else to recognize your achievement, because you already know the price you've paid and the work you've put in. It's a silent triumph, a personal victory that no one can take away from you. And in that silence, you find a deeper sense of satisfaction than any public acknowledgement could ever give you. You see, the world is noisy. It's full of distractions and opinions, but when you've reached your goal, when you've done what others thought you couldn't, the noise doesn't matter anymore. You realize that the only validation you need is from yourself. The silence of victory is the loudest statement you can make. It says, I did it. It says, I didn't need to explain myself. I didn't need to justify my actions. I just kept moving forward and I reached my destination. That's the kind of victory that lasts. That's the kind of success that no one can take from you. And here's the thing. That silence doesn't mean you stop. It doesn't mean you've reached the end. It's a moment to reflect, to appreciate how far you've come, but it's not the end of your journey. It's a moment to pause, to take a breath, and then to prepare for the next chapter. The silence of victory is not about resting on your laurels. It's about recognizing your progress and using it as the foundation for your next move. Because success isn't just about what you achieve, it's about what you do next. And when you've experienced the power of that silence, you know that your best work is yet to come. The beauty of victory in silence is that it's yours and yours alone. No one can take that from you. No one can tell you what it should feel like. It's personal, It's a moment where the world fades away and all that matters is the feeling inside. That feeling is yours, and it's a reminder that you have everything you need inside of you to succeed. And when you learn to enjoy that silence, you realize that it's not about seeking attention or validation from anyone else. It's about embracing the peace that comes from knowing you've done what you set out to do. In the end, it's not the applause or the cheers that make your victory meaningful. It's the quiet moments when you sit with yourself, reflecting on everything you've overcome, and realizing that you did it all on your own. And that, my friend, is the most powerful kind of success there is. Because when you learn to enjoy the silence of victory, you realize that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that's where the true strength lies. Number 9, one day your success will be their lesson. There's something special about knowing that one day your success will become a lesson for those who doubted you. It's not about gloating, not about proving them wrong for the sake of revenge. No, it's deeper than that. Your success, the one you work so hard for, will eventually serve as a lesson in resilience, in perseverance, and in belief. And when that day comes, when they look at what you've achieved, they'll realize that they were just a small part of your journey. The ones who once questioned your every step, the ones who thought you wouldn't make it, they'll look at you and they'll see their own lesson. But here's the beauty of it. You don't need to force that moment to happen. You don't need to remind them of their doubts or give them any kind of vindication. No, your success will speak for itself. It will echo in ways that words never could. It will be a quiet yet powerful reminder that when you stay focused, when you continue to move forward no matter the obstacles, your success will be the biggest lesson anyone could learn. When you start on your journey, there are always those who will doubt you, who will question your motives and wonder why you're putting in the effort. They might even laugh at you, tell you that it's not worth it, or suggest that you're wasting your time. At first, it may sting. It may make you question yourself for a moment. But what you have to realize is that those people are just part of the process. They are there not to stop you, but to remind you that your path is different. They are the ones who will help you grow, even though they don't realize it. As you continue moving forward, as you keep your eyes on the goal and push through the hard times, you start to notice that something begins to change. The doubts that once hurt you start to lose their power. You no longer feel the need to prove anything. The work you're putting in becomes your proof. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to answer every question. The success you're working toward will one day answer all of those questions for you. Your actions will speak louder than anything they could ever say. This is the point where you realize that the real power of success isn't in the glory, the recognition, or even the rewards. The real power is in knowing that one day your journey will serve as a lesson for others. People will look at what you've accomplished and they'll see a reflection of their own potential. They'll see that anything is possible, that success isn't reserved for a select few, and that if you can do it, so can they. Think about it for a moment. Those who once doubted you, who thought you weren't capable, will one day have no choice but to acknowledge what you've achieved, and not because you're rubbing it in their faces, but because your success has become undeniable. It's a reminder to them that the very things they said were impossible for you became the foundation for your greatest achievements. They'll realize that their words, their doubts, their limits were nothing but obstacles that help shape the person you've become. And when they see your success, they won't see it as a triumph over them. No, they'll see it as a lesson for themselves. A lesson in believing, in pushing through adversity, and in never giving up on what you know is possible. The lesson they learn won't be spoken aloud. It won't come with an apology or an acknowledgement from them, but it will come in the quiet reflection of their own lives. They will look at you and realize that you were right all along. You were the one who took the risk, who worked tirelessly, who didn't give up no matter how hard it got. And they'll see that everything they once said was impossible, everything they doubted about you, was simply a step in your journey. It's the silent victory that speaks louder than any words they could ever say. And let me tell you, the beauty of this lesson is that it will inspire not just those who doubted you, but those around you as well. Your success will be the spark that lights the way for others who might be facing similar doubts. You'll be the proof that it can be done. You'll show them that even when the world is telling you that you can't, there is always a way to make it happen. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need anyone's approval. You just need to believe in yourself, and in time, your success will be the lesson that teaches others to believe in themselves, too. And when that day comes, when those who doubted you finally see what you've accomplished, they will have learned something invaluable. They will have learned that success doesn't come from luck or chance. It comes from hard work, from dedication, from the willingness to keep going even when it feels impossible. They will see that success is a result of not giving up, of trusting the process, and of staying true to the vision you have for your life. In the end, the most powerful part of your success isn't what you achieve, but what it can teach others. Your journey, your struggles, your victories will become the lesson that proves to others that anything is possible. And when they look back on your story, they'll realize that your success wasn't just yours. It was a lesson they needed to see, a lesson that will inspire them to take action, to believe in their own potential, and to keep pushing forward no matter how many people doubt them along the way. So keep going, keep working, keep pushing. Your success is not just for you, it's for everyone who will look at your story and see a reflection of their own journey. And one day when they do, they'll realize that they've learned the most important lesson of all, that anything is possible if you're willing to work for it. Number 10, your success will turn their doubt into admiration. Sometimes the best way to silence the doubters is not by confronting them, not by getting into arguments or by trying to change their minds. No, the best way to handle them is simple: succeed. Nothing will turn their doubt into admiration faster than watching you rise. Watching you do exactly what they said couldn't be done, and watching you do it with confidence and determination. It's incredible how quickly their words will shift from skepticism to respect when they see the results of your hard work. And you won't have to say a word. Your actions, your success will speak for you. Think about it. How many times have you been told something couldn't be done? How many people have said that your dreams are too big, your goals too far out of reach? Maybe you've heard, "That's impossible," or "You'll never make it." And at first it hurts. It stings when the people around you, the ones you trust, the ones you expect support from, are the ones telling you that you're not capable of achieving your dreams. It's discouraging. But here's the thing. Those same people who doubt you are the very ones who will one day look at you and realize they were wrong. They will look at you in awe, in admiration, as they see you accomplish what they thought was impossible. And it will be your success that turns their doubt into something else entirely. Respect. The reason this happens is because success is undeniable. When you succeed, there's no argument. There's no room for doubt anymore. The results are there, plain as day. People can't ignore them. Your success doesn't require validation from anyone else. It's a reflection of your effort, your dedication, and your resilience. And when people witness that kind of success, it forces them to shift their perception. The doubt they had will fade, and what will replace it is admiration. You'll have earned it through your persistence, your ability to overcome the odds, and your unwavering belief in your own potential. Here's something important to remember. You're not succeeding to prove anyone wrong. You're not succeeding to get back at the people who doubted you. No, you're succeeding for yourself. You're doing it because you know what you're capable of. You're doing it because you believe in your dreams, even when no one else does. Your success is your own. But here's the magic of it. When you succeed, when you push through the struggles and come out on top, you show others what's possible, you become an example. You show them that if you can do it, they can too. Your success doesn't just prove them wrong. It also proves to others that anything is possible when you're willing to work for it. The best part, you don't have to say a word to anyone. You don't have to rub it in. You don't have to point fingers or make people feel bad for doubting you. The beauty of success is that it doesn't need to be defended. It speaks for itself. Your journey will be the message. Your results will be the evidence. And one day, when they look at you, when they see where you are compared to where you were, they'll realize that all the doubt they had was nothing but a stepping stone on your path to greatness. They'll see you for what you truly are, a testament to the power of perseverance, hard work, and belief in yourself. And let's talk about how powerful that moment will be. Think about how it will feel when the very people who once doubted you now turn around and look at you with admiration. The same ones who said you couldn't do it, who told you that your dreams were too big, will be the ones who are impressed by your journey. You didn't have to fight with them, and you didn't have to argue with them. You just had to do the work. You just had to keep going when everyone else told you to stop. That's how you win. That's how you show them what you're made of. This doesn't just apply to the people closest to you either. It's not just about family or friends. It's about the world. People are watching. They're seeing what you're doing, even if they aren't saying anything. They're noticing the late nights, the sacrifices, the hustle, and eventually they'll come to respect it. They'll see that you were right all along, that you were the one who believed in yourself when no one else did. And when they see your success, it'll turn their doubt into admiration. They'll recognize the work you put in, they'll acknowledge your commitment, and they'll have no choice but to respect the journey that led you to where you are now. But here's the key. Don't wait for their approval. Don't wait for their admiration to get started. Don't let their doubt stop you from taking the first step. Because success doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you put in the work, when you stay focused on your goals, and when you believe in your potential, even when no one else does. That's what gets results. That's what turns doubt into admiration, and it's what will help you achieve everything you've ever dreamed of. Remember, the journey is yours. It's not about making anyone else believe in you. It's not about convincing anyone of your worth. It's about proving to yourself that you can do it. The moment you stop worrying about what others think, the moment you stop trying to get approval from the people who doubted you, is the moment you'll unlock the full potential of your success. You'll be free to chase your dreams without hesitation, knowing that your success will eventually speak louder than anything anyone could say. And when the doubters see it, when they witness your achievements, they'll have no choice but to turn that doubt into respect, admiration, and maybe even a little envy. But that's okay. Let them be envious of your success. Let them admire what you've accomplished, because at the end of the day, you've done it. You've turned your dreams into reality, and that's the kind of success that no one can ignore. You've heard the voices, felt the doubt, and maybe even questioned yourself along the way. But now, it's time to put all that noise behind you. Your success is your answer. Let it be the proof that shuts down every critic. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't need to fight every battle or argue every point. The results you create will speak louder than any doubt ever could. Remember, every great success story started with doubters. They laughed, they criticized, they didn't believe, but they didn't see the fire that was driving you, the focus you had, and the dedication that would eventually turn your dreams into reality. So let them doubt, let them talk. You just keep your eyes on the prize, and when you get there, let your success be the loudest response. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Your success will prove everything. Keep moving forward, keep working hard, and trust the process. This is your time. Let your results be the story you tell. The world will be listening soon enough. Stay focused, keep believing, and always remember, your success will turn their doubt into admiration.